What's up, guys? How are we doing? So I'm pretty excited to be here. This is actually my 1-year anniversary of starting stand-up comedy.
Yeah!
Don't clap that. Don't clap that. That's the worst decision I've ever made. It ruined my life. Like, I chose not to go to college because of this. Like, I had potential. Like, I was going to college. Like, not a good college. Like, I wasn't getting into the good schools. Like, I didn't have the grades for that. Like, I was in all the dumb kid classes in high school. Like, I didn't choose to be in them. They just kind of put you in them. And they don't tell you either. Like, you just show up on the first day, like, there's a lot of dumb fucks in this class. And you're like, why are we all sitting on exercise balls? And you're like, oh no. Yeah. They don't even know what to do with those dumb kids. Like, the other kids are learning like math and science. Like, we're just doing arts and crafts. Just learning how to write anything helps God bless on cardboard. The advanced one in the class is learning how to write veteran. Yeah. School's been telling me I was dumb for a long time. Like, in middle school, we all took career tests. Other kids were getting, like, doctor, and the teacher would say something like, oh, you could cure cancer. Other kids were getting engineer. They're like, oh, you could work at NASA, send people to Mars. I got bar back. Like, they didn't even give me bartender. Like, they're like, that's too much counting for you, buddy. You got to work a register. I don't think you can do that. I never liked high school. It wasn't for me. Like, they always make you do things you don't want to do. Like, I always hated dodgeball. I was like, why do we got to play dodgeball? And then all those school shootings started happening. I was like, oh, I get it. They just want you to be better at ducking and weaving. It makes sense. Like, you play the game a lot differently when you know what you're training for. But, like Chad said, I did move down to Minneapolis a few months ago. I thought it was going to be great. I was like, I'll get a job during the day. I'll do comedy during the night. It'll be great, right? I got fired from my job 4 days in. Yeah, I was a host at a restaurant. You guys know how bad of a host you gotta be to get fired? Like, this is a job that can be done by a sign. I couldn't figure it out. Like, people are coming up like, 2 please. I'm like, oh, you had to throw that curveball at me. My firing was like 100% justified, but I'd never been fired before. They're like, you're fired. And I was like, I'm on the schedule 3 more days this week. You want me to show up? They're like, oh God, no, we'd much rather be understaffed. Yeah. I did end up getting a new job. I work at a clothing store now. It sucks, guys. It's a shitty job. Like, I have to try on clothes for people. That wasn't in the job description. Like, I just got grandmas coming up to me like, I'm shopping for my grandson. Like, will you try this on for me? Like, they're like, he looks just like you. He's just a little bit, like, he's just a little bit taller, like, you know, a little bit broader shoulders, like, all around more attractive. So, oh, and black, but he looks just like you. It's not a good job. Since I moved down to the cities, I live by myself now. I was living with my parents. I had to change up my lifestyle a little bit. Like, I started fasting. Not really like a religious thing or anything like that. I just can't afford groceries. Like, I can't afford them. Like, no one warned me. Like, I was at the grocery store. I was like, I'm gonna buy a pair. I picked one up. I looked at the price. I was, ooh, maybe someday. If I work really hard. I look at someone with like a full cart of groceries the same way you look at someone driving a Lamborghini. I'm just like, wow, what do they do for a living? I want to be like them someday. I bet they get hella bitches with that full ass fridge. When I moved down to the cities, I broke up with my girlfriend. We both moved away from Duluth. Like, I moved to Minneapolis to be a comedian. She moved to Boston and studied law at Harvard. You know, basically the same thing, just different parts of the country. But I don't think I'm gonna get this girl back, guys. Like, I can't compete with those Harvard dudes. They're all rich and fancy. They probably say big words like chandelier or avocado. I can't compete with that. Like, they're at Ivy League school. I brag about my high school diploma. Like, I went all 12 years, even went in the summers. You know, I'm exercising. I already told you guys, I'm a dumb guy. Like, I thought Arnold Palmer was a founding father. Like, he's not, if you were wondering. I thought he was like an American hero, and that's why he got the drink. Like, I thought he was on the Declaration of Independence, free the slaves. He didn't do any of that. Me and this girl would have never worked out. Like, none of our conversations made sense, and she was way smarter than me. So, like, I would try and talk about the great Arnold Palmer, and she'd be like, what? No, like, he's still alive. I'd be like, what? He's still alive? Like, I gotta start drinking more of that drink. That stuff's working. Yeah, and like, every once in a while, she'd try and talk to me about something real. She'd be like, it's crazy what's happening with Israel and Palestine. I'd be like, I can never remember any of your friends' names. Thank you guys, I'm AT.